and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody that is a little bit unsure of whether or not they should message you. I feel they're typing and then deleting and then editing and then changing and then maybe just kind of getting frustrated and deciding to close out the app or put away their phone altogether. This is because we've got somebody who's a little bit uneasy with regards to the emotional side of the connection that the two of you have. So taking action or communicating with you in this situation makes them feel vulnerable. And that's not necessarily something that they are sure they want. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. But I do think this person wants to make an offer. So this will be an interesting battle. Hello, Key Controller. How are you doing? If you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. And right below that, you can find out more details on if you want to join and be a member, what that costs, what's included, when we're going to have the next live stream, all of that fun stuff. Let's dive in. We're going to get some additional details from the Marigold Tarot. What else do we have? I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing good. Ooh. Four of Wands in the reverse. Five of Wands in the reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. I know things aren't good between us. I know there's some argument, or maybe someone owes someone an apology. I don't want to fight. They're arguing with themselves. I don't know how they're going to respond. I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe I should just forget the whole thing. They cannot decide, am I going to message or am I going to just give up? Hello, Rachel. Hello, Jason. How's it going? Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups in the reverse, and the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Do I fight for it or do I just walk away? Maybe I can't get what I want. They're trying to see the truth of the situation so they make the right call. I think this is literally a pros and cons list kind of moment, right? If I do this, then that happens. If I don't do this, then that happens. If I love this person, then, I'm going to miss them forever. We have a lot that they're considering before they feel like they can make this decision. Now, I am just going to point out, we've had the Empress in the reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. This is not super high vibration energy. I would say it comes through more so as insecurity or a little bit of, I don't know if this is going to work out, but it's a little concerning. 10 of Rings or 10 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Knight of Cups. I think somebody wants to make an offer, but I don't know if they have this stability. So in other words, we could have somebody that has, a great job, or they have a great support system from their family. But when it comes to being able to connect in an emotional way, I don't know that this is somebody who has a very strong foundation. They might have some healing they need to work on with regards to themselves before they can really invest in a connection like that. Four of Rings or Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Yeah. Hello, Dan. How are you doing? Yeah, I know what you mean. They get a little infuriating. I just don't know. Maybe I should walk away because it requires me to really work on myself if I want to be in this connection. So this is like an unhealed individual who feels drawn to your magic, your energy, your compassionate nature, but they have to do right by themselves, right? Yeah. King of Wands. Gotta be honest, I think this is somebody who half the time is super confident and half the time complete opposite. They go back and forth, but I think you know that there's something here that might be a little bit not quite ready for a relationship about this person. So trust that instinct. This is the gold foil tarot. What else do we have? To you also. Five of Swords in the reverse. Seven of Swords in the reverse, and the Six of Cups. The truth that this individual is discovering, I'm going to refer to them as the High Priestess, but please keep in mind that this is the Empress, High Priestess, and both of those were in the reverse, indicating much work ahead, right? They're identifying, I get in my own way. I have a problem of sabotaging things that would otherwise be great for me, whether that's a job or a relationship or a friendship, whatever. I think this is the beginning of accountability or ownership or healing this particular situation. They're being honest with themselves. And I do think that in part it's because of energy that you share with this person, or because of somebody like a sibling or a close friend of theirs. So they're starting on this adventure. Knight of Swords in the reverse, Seven of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. I feel like you're a catalyst for this person. I feel like you show them what healed energy is like. You show them what they need to be working towards. And I just kind of like, I don't know if you heard that, starts the engine, right? There's initialization here. And it's because you show them, here's what like the future state could be. If you focus on yourself, if you like actually deal with this, like, you know, I don't know, emotional maturity, you could work towards genuine confidence, right? Ten of Cups, feeling like they belong. Hanged Man in the reverse. Queen of Cups in the reverse. It could be as simple as you showing this person compassion when nobody else really does or has recently, but you get them to see something different. You change their perspective. So I do feel you're supposed to meet this person. You're supposed to encounter this person. They're supposed to be inspired by you. But if this is a love offer that comes in that you take seriously, I think it would be because you are looking at someone's potential as opposed to their present, what they're currently offering, right? Five of Wands in the reverse again, and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse with the Star in the reverse. This person has healing to do. You've done your little like, okay, wake up. It's time for you to like get your ish together. That's what you're supposed to do for this person. This is not, but I think they get a little bit attached to you is the thing. They don't want it to just be like a flash in the pan connection. They don't want it to be something where you're just friends. This is somebody who might get a little attached to you because you inspired them. This is the Golden Lenormand. What else do we have? Hello, Nick. Hello, Laura. How's it going? I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. This is saying when somebody's going through an awakening, when somebody's going through a dark night of the soul, that is not like the ideal time to jump into a relationship and try to do right by another connection. That is the right time to work on yourself, to make sure you have time to recharge, to take all the lessons in, right? Take advantage. This is somebody who is embarking on the dark night of the soul, or this is somebody who is like mid progress, right? Like, dating for this person is a red flag because they still have to develop certain elements with regards to that emotional side of relationships. But I feel like they are missing companionship. They want somebody there because things are a little bit difficult. If I may, I would say that's a little bit like asking somebody halfway through your I don't know, marathon to like finish the race for you. This is somebody who wants to be, I don't know, it's kind of like they want to be a little bit like half-assed on this, I guess, is the only way I can think about saying this. There's still a freshness, a newness, and they're not necessarily 100% committed to sticking through this process the whole time, right? It's like when you go in and you're supposed to do one of those stupid little interview, like fill out all these forms. There's like a behavioral test. And you have that ability or like that option to like save your progress and come back and do it later. This person's like, I've gotten like 60% of the way through my healing pertaining to this situation. So like, I think I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have some fun, maybe like fall in love with somebody. But that like last 40% that they have not been able to address is literally what they need in order to have a healthy relationship. So it's like, nah, it's like, it's not supposed to work that way. They need to continue on this path. So you might be placed in their life to remind them, you're supposed to be going this way. Move along. Nope, no, not that way. I know you're tempted. Blah. You're like rerouting them. Like you want to be at a point where you are ready for a relationship, then you need to stay committed to doing the things that help you feel better about yourself, because we have a lapse in confidence or some insecurity, maybe even jealousy, something along those lines that it gets in the way, okay? It does not help them in their case when it comes to being able to be in a relationship, because self-sabotage happens, right? Why does self-sabotage happen? Because you don't think you're good enough. You have to learn and believe and embrace that idea completely that yes, you deserve love. Yes, you deserve to be treated with respect. Yes, you deserve to be told the truth by people. Like when you get that situation sorted, then come talk to me, right? Like that's what this person's saying. They're like, no. Ten of Swords in the reverse, Page of Pentacles. I don't want to be like condescending. And I want to say, oh God, what show is it from? This is a little baby. I can't remember who that actor is, but he's hilarious. I feel like he's been on SNL. This is somebody who has work to do, okay? This is like if you were to show up at your best friend's place because you happen to be in the neighborhood and they have the day off and you think, oh, maybe they want to like grab lunch, but they have only just started to like paint the backyard fence and it's clear that they have a lot of work left to do. Are you really going to like ruin their rhythm and like let their paint dry out or whatever it is? No, it's like, no, you've got something going on. You go ahead, you finish that. I'm sure it's going to look great. I'm going to go eat some food without you. This is saying this person does need to do something on their own. They need to like work on this healing and that maybe it's just not right. The timing. So we've got the Moon and the Page of Cups in the reverse. So I see an offer coming from somebody who isn't necessarily super confident about that offer. This is why we have the typing and deleting. There is something they have not shared with regards to a betrayal or a disappointment, an element of what they need to heal from. Hello, Danielle. How are you doing? Hello, Co-Create. How's your day? Hello, Carrie. How are you? We've got the Ace of Wands and the Chariot. Look, you got places to be, okay? This person's great and all. I'm not saying that you have to be like, adios forever. Turd nuggets. Is that Grandma's boy? I think adios, turd nuggets. I think so. I'm not saying you have to do it forever, okay? You don't have to like judge them and be like, you're just not smart enough for me yet, right? No, this is saying you got some things to work on. I'm gonna let you like work on that, right? I'm gonna let you finish. But you have other things that you need to be working on. You have other things that probably other people to inspire, to be honest, other projects to be working on. That doesn't mean you can't like remain in contact with this person, but this person's gonna be a little clingy, okay? They like you a lot. A lot. So prepare yourself. There may be a little bit of an awkward situation when somebody wants to make an offer. They want to be a little bit too close to you, and you're like, I'm sorry, this is just not where I'm supposed to be right now. Magician and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And I think it's complicated for you because you know this person's working on confidence, and you're like, hey, I think it's great that you're hitting on people. Don't stop doing that. But maybe like just wait a little bit longer until you can actually like say the words, I deserve love, and not feel cheesy about it. It's like the timing's not quite right, but it's good that they're getting this confidence. So it's like, how can I encourage this and be like, look at you, you're doing great. You're going to be in love in no time, without being like, you're not good enough. Because you don't want to like, you don't want to make them feel bad about themselves. That's not the goal at all. You're just aware of the fact that they've got some more healing that they need to work on. And I do feel like it's your friendship that shows them a very important part of that like map that they need to follow. So yeah, you're a catalyst, you're an inspiration in this person's life. They might get a little bit of like lovey-dovey eyes, and you're over here like, but I gotta go. I got other places to be. There are other people I need to help, right? Thank you. That was my grandparents, and I do love it. So that's from one side of the family, grandparents, and then this is from the other side. 4 of Wands in the reverse. Again, it's like bookending it as the very beginning and the very end of this. You will find a way to deal with this, but you want to be aware of the fact that this is a person that is trying to develop that emotional side and that confidence, right? So I guess I'm just saying tread carefully, because you have helped somebody get back up after they fell down. We don't want to like push them back down, right? Like, no, that only works in The Simpsons, okay? A new reading every hour? You're killing me. I literally work every day, bruh. We've got emotions. So what is the focus here? Somebody isn't necessarily processing all of the emotions they need to. So this could be trauma from, long ago that they haven't faced. This could be not wanting to admit that maybe they do have some issues pertaining to who they are, how they feel about themselves, what they feel they deserve, right? Palm Destiny, number 18. I feel like this is about you having places to be. You are not meant to be this person's person. Recycle, recover. You are meant to help them recover from a difficult time and stay focused on this dark night of the soul and their healing. but they get overly excited about you, okay? They're like, oh, but it's so pretty, it's so funny. You've got muscles. I don't know what it is, but they think you're just the bestest. So tread carefully, my friends. It's good to inspire, but you want to make sure also that you're not like leading anyone on, right? No, James, I can't. I'm a human. I have to like eat food and stuff. You do know I do like personal readings throughout the day too, right? Like you don't see all the readings I do. You don't know me. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Is that Rick and Morty? So we have beauty, chemistry, and silence. Charming, graceful, kind-hearted, chemistry, attraction, spark, passion, and silence. Frozen, no words, and stonewall. So you might feel a little bit guilty because you do maybe even acknowledge that there's some chemistry here, or you find this person attractive, or you know that they find you attractive. But you also know that there have to be boundaries here, right? There have to be conversations about the truth of the situation. Maybe I feel like for some of you, you're older than this person too. Yeah, they're working through this negative mindset that they picked up while dealing with a person that was very toxic. So this negative mindset has impacted their confidence and made them feel like everybody around them is dishonest or not going to be a good person. So it's because they've been abandoned by more than one person, I feel. This is what they need to work on. And until they work on that, there's really just like a repeating cycle for them. So once they do this nourishment, once they actually focus on that healing, then they're able to move forward with that emotional side of themselves and feel worthy of it, right? It's very, very important. Let's get a few from, we'll see if the You Deserve Love card comes out. This is the Romance Angel Oracle. I just have to check and see how much battery life I have because it's getting down there. Okay, it's not too bad. I looked at the timer, by the way, and it was 22 minutes and 44 seconds. So 22:44 could be important for somebody. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And we've got flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. See, I feel like this is what you were doing. You were being kind of flirtatious with it, but maybe not super intentional. And this person is like falling in love with you a little bit. Yes, exactly. So we've got worth waiting for. Yeah. There's, I feel, other people in the mix for you too, even though there is perhaps like a strong friendship bond and maybe even physical attraction. The timing is off and something else here is not quite right. This is the Everyday Tarot. We have the Magician. This person is feeling more capable than they have in a long time. They may have Aries in their chart. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Moon. This person is going to be very upset if you move away or if you are not interested. So this is why the reading is coming through. You've got a lot of positive influence over this person. They really do admire you. But when they kind of cross over into that a little bit obsessive or watching you a lot, maybe even feeling a little bit jealous if you start hanging out with other people. That's when things start to get a little bit questionable, because then they start to feel like you're the reason that things are good in their life. And the whole purpose of this healing is for them to see they're the reason, right? That they deserve love, that they don't deserve to be treated the way they were in the past. But with the Hierophant in the reverse, it's like they're missing the point. They're not seeing what's real. Page of Swords in the reverse and the Two of Pentacles. That there's more work to be done. They're missing these details because they're like really focused on, I don't know, they think you're really attractive, or they really like listening to music with you. There's too much focus on you. So I do think this person is going to make an offer, or at some point, like, ask you out, make a move of some sort. And I think you're going to be like, oh, about that. No, because this person, you can tell. I think you're smart enough in that regard to, pick up on the fact that there are still some emotional things they need to work through. And then beyond that, I feel like there's either someone else you're interested in or something else that you're pursuing, and it just makes this not an option. Intuition, innate perception, instinct, clairsentience, and extrasensory. And then we've got tomorrow. Begin again, continue ahead, better days, and relief. So you're helping this person tap into their own intuition and believe in things being better tomorrow. That kind of connection has brought with it a sense that they feel like you're kind of like a guru, or you're good luck for them. They are going through this change. They are on the right path, but they are getting distracted. And in some cases, it's because they have a big old crush on you. They see you as very magical. Answers, clarity, transparency, justification, disclosed, bear, and life is now. They get a little bit excited. They know that they have more homework to do. Let's do tomorrow, but they want to run away and hang out with you. They've got more work to do, and that's what they have to focus on. So I would encourage that. Hello, Brianna or Brianna. You can let me know which one it is. I had a neighbor that it was Brianna, so that's why it comes natural for me to say that. Oop, you're over here. This is the Path of Shadows. What else do we have? Mirror Labyrinth. Illusions and reflections. Who are you trying to fool? When you turn your back to the mirror, there's still someone looking at you. Yeah, they might want to convince themselves that everything's fine. They're ready for a relationship. They want to dive in with you. But the thing is, their troubles are still waiting for them, like, at the end of the day. I feel like nighttime in particular is difficult for this person. They might have nightmares or struggle to sleep. Another Labyrinth reference. Is that you, David Bowie? Among the they spelled confusion, so I thought it was something else. They have two S's. Among the confusion of the twisting turns and the endless chase, will I find myself in the heart of this maze. So they feel like they don't really know who they are. Another reason why we have a need for a little bit more healing, right? Once they have that confirmed weirdness, I know who I am, I can be authentic, I'm not going to feel weird about it. Once that gets a little bit more hammered out, then we got somebody who can date. I was going to make a joke, but I don't know. Hello, Cho. How are you doing? Or Choba Band? You tell me what you want me to call you. Within reason, of course. We've got the Werewolf card. Only the moon knows what it takes to hide this turmoil. two sides of the same tormented soul. They're hiding something that is still really difficult for them to deal with. And I just want to tell whoever's out there where this resonates, you don't have to hide what is hurting you. There are people out there that you can trust, and you deserve to be in a happier place. But it does require a little bit of work on your end, right? A little skin in the game, a little bit of, okay, well, I'm working on this, so then that means I'm going to stay committed to it, right? But you are on the right path. This person is sent to you to make sure that you stay focused. Gargoyle, in stone I'm carved, left alone in the cold, always watching over, protecting stories untold. So this protective energy could be the person I'm reading for. You are the gargoyle. You've been through a lot of stuff, okay? You are experienced in ish hitting the fan. That's what this person admires, or why you inspire them. They can see that you've like lived through it. You've got some tales to tell, right? This is the What's the News Oracle. What else do we have? Indeed. Oop. So we've got Bye Felicia, Love Bombing, Wine and Dine, and SOS. Yeah, this is someone who, if you tell them that you're walking away, you got other things to do, or you can't date them, they're going to love bomb you. This is why we still need a little bit of healing, right? Love bombing is not a healthy way to connect to somebody, but it's part of that clinging, obsessive energy. They want to date you. They want you by their side, but you can see that they still need to do some healing. And I feel like you are being pulled elsewhere. Machismo, masculine pride, toxic masculinity, meeting manly expectations, and rebound. There's an element of, I don't want to be alone, I want some companionship, and you're there. Yes, they admire everything you are, but there's also just a, I don't want to be alone. Can you just like sit with me? Can you just hang out with me? Can you sleep with me? This is what they're looking for. It's not the right type of healing, and you know that. They want to rely on your energy to try to heal, when what they need to do is remember the magic they have within themselves, right? All righty. I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and the memberships, and I will see you later. Toodles.